Hey, what's up everybody? This is Damron. We're playing Halo Reach, part of the Master Chief Collection. We're doing our Co-Op LASO guide, which brings us to part 4, Tip of the Spear. So one of the main things that, the reason I put it together as a co-op guide is because there are things in co-op that are a little bit different than single player, and a lot of the videos that you come across for LASO really are single player. And there's some things like right evident in the beginning of the first mission that are slightly different. So on single player, at the beginning of this mission, you're going to spawn with a DMR. In co-op, you are not. You're going to spawn with a grenade launcher and an assault rifle. So that changes your approach to this first section slightly, because you need to take out these two shade turrets. One's on the right and one's on the left. So you saw that I went up to the right and I took that one out, and my buddy has gone to the left side to take out the other one. And this route that I'm showing you here, kind of taking the left cliff side, is the path that you take in single player, and then you're just going to use your DMR when you get up to this rock here to basically snipe down the grunts that are in those shade turrets. But in co-op, that strategy is not going to work because you don't have a DMR, you don't even have a pistol. You've got an AR and a grenade launcher, so you really need to get close because you're going to miss a lot of shots trying to hit that second shade turret on the right hand side from a distance. So that's a kind of difference with this level. So we're going to speed up this gameplay because after you take out those turrets, your Pelican's going to be able to come in. And basically, we're just going to be kind of waiting on the Pelican to kind of take out the elite and the grunts up there, because we're waiting on it to drop the Warthog for us. So that's a good example of some of the differences between co-op and single player, and one of the reasons that I put this guide together. So while we're waiting, some of the sections, the single player strategies are going to work for you, but one of the main differences of co-op is the Iron Skull. Obviously in co-op, if someone dies, you're not going to have to restart the whole level. You're just going to restart at a checkpoint. So that allows us to try to utilize some of the speed run tactics, because we know we're going to have some checkpoints, as opposed to some of the slower tactics and playing it very safe in single player LASO. So you're going to see kind of a mixture of strategies and even some new strategies to help you guys get through this. Obviously the blind skull is on as well. The blind skull removes everything from your HUD. A quick workaround for that if you want to. I personally don't do it. I enjoy kind of the challenge of LASO, but if you want to, you can go into a co-op game and aim and place a sticky note or something onto your TV of where your reticle would have been. So that's kind of a workaround for that. And then obviously if you are playing single player, there is a workaround to dying. You can save and quit, and you'll be able to get those checkpoints. So again, up to this section here, a little bit different is you're going to have to take out those kind of skirmishers there pretty with you, the missiles or something, but you want to stay back here and don't advance forward. And the reason for that is that by staying back, there is a phantom that comes in and drops off some enemies, but if you stay back and just kind of shoot the gun from a distance, you'll actually prevent that spawn from ever happening. So we can just stay back here, launch our missiles up there, and it would have been a good idea to grab this needler rifle ammo from these skirmishers. That's something that can give you a precision weapon that'll help us in the future, but I didn't do that here, but that's something you can do. So while we're kind of cleaning up this section, one last thing about co-op is that you need to beat the entire mission in one sitting. While you're getting checkpoints throughout playing the level, you are not getting checkpoints in the sense that you can save and quit. If you save and quit and come back in co-op, it will restart you at the beginning of the level. So just keep that in mind. So once you've kind of taken out this gun here, and the way is kind of clear, we're going to take this right cave on the right hand side, and we're going to kind of take that around, and what you're kind of waiting to see is some teammates of yours are going to drop a bridge down for you that you can cross. There is a phantom out here, so let's just hang tight for a second, and as soon as you see your teammates place this bridge down, you can see it kind of coming in here, you know you're ready to roll. So let's head on, and we're just going to drive up there and cross that bridge. We're not going to worry about anything at all to fight. Got a little lucky here. Obviously you want to get past that section as soon as possible so you're not getting hit by those concussion shots. Moving on down to the next section, again there are some skirmishers here with some needler rifles. Again, if you're in single player, right, the DMR is going to make this easy. I should have grabbed those. What I do recommend is grabbing those needler rifles from the skirmishers that we fought prior to the gun up there. There's going to be 3 of them down. That would help you kill these skirmishers relatively easily, and then after you take them out, you can then refill your ammo. I do actually opt out here and finally pick up this needler rifle, but I should have grabbed it in that earlier section, and normally I do. Not sure why I didn't, because that will make this area easier, because you can just use your skirmishers, your needler rifles to eliminate those skirmishers much easier, because with the tough luck skull on, they're going to be jumping out of the way a lot, and it's actually hard to get kills on infantry units with the missiles in this Warthog. So just grab the needler rifles in the previous section, as I mentioned, and that'll make it a little bit easier for you right here. There is a health pack up here right to the left of this truck, so whoever is hurt the most, be sure you grab that, and we'll get moving on. Alright, so progressing on the next section, instead of heading left and crossing that bridge over there, we're just going to stay to the right, and we're going to drive up to this wall here and use our Warthog to actually jump up onto this slope here. And when you get to the top of that, you can actually just head around to the back side of this area. Now, in single player, if you have a lot of DMR ammo, you can sit back and kind of take out these enemies. But in co-op, we've got checkpoints, so we're just going to use this speed run method here. Basically, we're going to wait a second, and once your sprint is recharged, head up the stairs, sprint around the corner. You can grab that health on your way if you need it. There's going to be 2 skirmishers. This is why it was critical to have your needler rifle to this point. You want to be able to headshot them. Now, my co-op partner is still waiting behind that propane tank, and now that I'm here, I can grab the attention of the shade turret. You can even try to kill the grunt that is in it, and once you do that, basically the second person that runs will have a very easy path to get up here, because really the one thing that's going to kill you trying to sprint up here is that shade turret. So if you have one person kind of go up, kill the skirmishers, take out the turret, that'll make it clear for anybody else that's going to follow. So do not head up the stairs here. We're going to jump over that wall, take this exact path that I have where you can jump up on this cliff edge that's going to take us around this building. By taking that path, we will actually despawn all the enemies that is in this section right here. The only thing remaining will be 2 jackals at the very top. Up here, you can kill them if you want. You could actually just skip them and run past and drop down the ceiling that we're gonna, the hole in the ceiling that we're gonna drop down in a second. I do go ahead and kill them here. You don't have to, like I said. If you just want to run past them and drop down this hole right here, they won't follow you. So once you drop down here, we're going to be advancing on. Feel free to grab this sticky launcher right here. That'll be good to use in the future if you need it. And also, we're going to keep our needler rifle. There's 2 health packs right there to the right of the Covenant weapon locker, so if you did take some damage, feel free to grab that. You can also nade yourself or do whatever you need to take some health damage if you want to be sure that you have full health, full shields. So nonetheless, we're moving on. So we're going to go ahead and grab this vehicle and progress on to the next section of the level. And you can skip these guys here. They won't chase you. Just keep progressing on. And once we get to the second area where we have to take out the second anti-air gun, we're going to jump down, and you can see that Warthog up there. There's actually a data pad up there that you can grab as well. But we're going to kind of jump up there, and we're just going to use the turret of the Warthog to take out that gun right there. So let's go ahead and get that done. We'll speed up the gameplay as we're sitting here just shooting this gun. As always, just take a moment to mention that I appreciate all the support from everybody that's followed this channel. Thanks for commenting, getting involved, liking. The channel's been growing. Really appreciate all the support. So if you guys like this stuff, feel free to like and subscribe. Hit the bell to get notified when I put new videos up. I never monetize this channel, y'all. This is just a gamer to gamer channel for fun. I hope you all enjoy it, and if you do, feel free to get involved. So once you finally take out this gun, we are actually going to use this Warthog, right? We're in co-op, so we have the Revenant down there, but we also have this Warthog, and we're gonna have some splatter fun. There is a data pad right there, if you haven't got it already. But we're gonna put one person in the Warthog and one person in the Revenant, and we're just gonna take our time up here. There's a decent amount of enemies that are in this section, and we're really gonna just splatter the majority of them. Now, there's also two wraiths in this section, but for one reason or another, almost every time you play this level, if you don't engage those wraiths, they will eventually just fall off the back of the cliff, and you'll never actually have to kill them. And so it's actually pretty consistent. In fact, most of the time you play this level, that's going to happen. If they don't fall off, the strategy is relatively the same. You're just going to kind of slowly take out all the enemies, and then you can use a plasma pistol or whatever to get close to the wraiths, board them, and take them out. But generally speaking, if you look down here, they're already gone. They just kind of fall off the back of the cliff for one reason or another. So there are a lot of jackals, a lot of grunts, as well as two hunters down here, and there's also a lot of bugs inside the anti-aircraft gun building. But as long as you don't get close to that building, they will not come out. I'll show you right before we head out. We're going to drive up there, and I'll show you how they basically come out. But as long as you don't go close to it while you're fighting all these other enemies, they won't come out. And there's actually no need to have them come out. You do not have to kill them to finish this section. So anyway, with my needler ammo, I'm just kind of taking a couple shots, seeing who I could take out here. But eventually we're just going to use our vehicles, kind of similar to what we did in the very first mission, to kind of have some splatter fun and take out the enemies in this area. So let's walk back to our vehicles, and we're going to slowly take out people. He's going to use the Warthog, my buddy's going to use the Warthog, and I am going to use the Revenant, and we're just going to kind of, head around and take out who we can. And then when we get to kind of taking out the hunters, you really just want to kind of strafe. So you can see there's a decent amount of enemies down there, and you do need to clear it out in order to get the Falcon to come down and to get you progressing to the next section. So let's go ahead and go back to our vehicles and start having some fun. So as you can see, with tough luck on, you can really spend a lot of time just kind of shooting these enemies, and it can take a long time to take them out. So eventually, as I mentioned, kind of the best route really is to just splatter everybody. I'm getting lit up here, but it really is the easiest way to kind of take them all out, is to just kind of strafe back and forth and splatter everybody, at least clear out the smaller enemies, and just leave the hunters. So that's kind of what we did. We're just kind of going back and forth, kind of splattering who we can here, and honestly, this is the most efficient way to take these guys out. And you can also push these hunters. It's hard to do, but you can actually push them off the cliff. That's a nice way. I think actually one of them does get knocked off as we're playing here, but it's not ideal. I'll show you once we kind of clear everybody else out here. Oof, man. Once we clear out all these guys, though, you can actually use that center rock to kind of just strafe around the rock right here, this rock that's right in front of us. to just kind of just keep pelting the hunters. As long as you don't, just sit still, generally you can stay safe from their shots. See, I see there's only one, so I'm pretty sure one of them actually did get knocked off while we were playing. But nonetheless, let's go ahead and get this last one taken out here. So we just strafe here around this kind of rock and just keep lighting up this hunter, and eventually you'll take him down. The only thing you don't want to do, and kind of learn this from Halo Completionist, who by the way does have really great solo guides. I used his a lot actually when I was making this playthrough. I kind of watched his solo strategies, and a lot of them actually work very well. Again, there's a lot of co-op differences, so that's one of the reasons I think I decided to make this, as well as with the checkpoints being readily available in co-op, you can utilize some of the speedrun tactics a little more efficiently in this playthrough. But Halo Completionist does have a lot of great solo tutorials, and one of the things that I did learn from him is that when you change directions in the Revenant, that's the most likely time that the hunters will be able to kill you and be able to shoot you. And the way to basically counteract that is when you do change directions, just make sure there's something in between you and the hunter, i.e. a tree or rock or whatever. But once you finally take them out, if you head to the right side of this area, there is a falcon down. There is a health pack here. Now my buddy grabbed it. There's only one. Okay, and you want to have as much health as you have before we go into the next section, this flying section with the falcon, because it's pretty dangerous. If you don't have a lot of shields, you can get taken out pretty quickly. That actually happened to me. I didn't have much shields going in, and we had a little difficulty getting past that part. But what I'm going to show you is the co-op side. So the single player side is going to be on the right hand side of the Falcon. Generally that's where you kind of get in, and that's what's shown in a lot of the solo, legendary, and lasso guides. Most people get into the right hand side and show you. And again, here's where the bugs are. So see, if you drive too close to this building, the bugs are going to come out. So don't do that when you're in this section. But nonetheless, I did that and I was like, oh crap, we could just restart checkpoint. But we didn't need to. We just hopped on our Falcon to head out. But anyway, so I'm going to show you the left-hand side version. Again, a lot of the guides you're going to see on the right-hand side. So if you want to see what it looks like on the right-hand side, again, feel free to check out Halo Completionist Guide. He'll show you how to approach the right-hand side of this Falcon run. It's not too much different, to be honest with you. You really just need to focus down the turrets. That's going to be your main priority on both sides, because the turrets will clean you up pretty quickly. But the first thing you're going to come to, left and right, you're going to come to a bridge. There's going to be enemies coming from the right. There's going to be a couple jackals and an elite. Just go ahead and shoot down the bridge, and you can actually knock those off. So now you can see the turret on the right hand side. My buddy's shooting that. On the left, we've got 3 turrets immediately. You want to take those down as fast as possible. Those are very dangerous and can take you out pretty quickly. As soon as you take out the third, go ahead and look forward, and you're going to see a fuel rod shade turret. You want to get that taken out as quickly as possible. The Wraith here is not as dangerous as the shade turret beside it. Focus down the shade turret first, and then you can start taking shots at the Wraith. The Wraith generally is not going to be the thing that kills you. It's going to be those turrets. So once you take those out, you're actually pretty clear on the left side. So eventually, after you see the spire, you will take a shot, and your Falcon will, be taken down. It will be a little cutscene. So you're gonna kind of enter the shield of the spire, and that's not gonna last long for us. But as soon as you kind of get done with this cutscene, I'll skip ahead here. You'll be here with George on the ground. So go ahead and grab that health pack if you need it. We're not going to need these jetpacks, but we're going to advance up. This is a very easy way to get into the spire, but this is also Once we get inside the spire, it's much different in co-op than it is in single player. Okay, so we'll talk about that up there. But advancing up, we're just going to stick to the right hand side, stay to the right hand side of these pipes. Very safe method. You'll be able to get to these rocks very easily. You're not going to have any trouble doing this. Jump up here, and then once you're up here, you're going to see a vehicle right in front of us. We're going to utilize this vehicle to get to the spire quickly and really get inside very fast and very easily with the lift right in front of us. Now, the difference between this and solo player, in solo, when you go up here, there's one sword elite that you can sprint around and assassinate and make it very easy. But in co-op, there's a sword elite and two concussion rifle elites. So as soon as you land up here, turn to your right, try to startle this concussion elite and take him out. That's critical. And then we're going to head to the other side. Once we head, there's generally the sword and concussion guy up here, the second one. So you can see now here's another one. Basically, we want to assassinate these two concussions as quickly as possible and then jump up so the sword guy doesn't get us. The sword guy was chasing me, and my buddy was able to assassinate him as he was chasing me. So that's a very different part in co-op than it is single player, because you're going to have to deal with 3 elites. But we want to just assassinate that first concussion guy as quickly as possible, assassinate the second concussion guy, and then utilize the sword guy chasing whoever and let the person that's not getting chased assassinate him. So that's going to wrap it up for Tip of the Spear, guys. I hope you guys are enjoying this co-op lasso guide. That's it for part 4. If you like my stuff, feel free to like and subscribe. Hopefully, I'll see you in part 5 of Halo Reach Co-op Lasso.